then they just can't. Because you eat them and you will kill them instead of the carry. You're the actual carry here. We don't really care about the Kog'Maw, but we do want to get his damage on the back. Now here, it's a 2 versus 1, but it's an 80 carry, right? We're Wing, and he will just kill himself. Look, the Draven will just kill himself. Yeah. We're taunting the Renata to make sure that she can't use her Undying ability on the Draven, and the Draven just for some reason kills himself over here. What is going on, guys? We're going at it once again, spectating level 2 Krook. Our dude reached Diamond 2 playing Rammus in the top side of the map with a whopping 64% win ratio. Now, the gameplay is not flawless, and this just goes to show that you can go beyond the Diamond 2. You can reach the D1, the Masters, the Grandmasters, and the Challenger playing this strategy. Now, we know that Rammus is not the best laner around, but our dude wanted to play Rammus, and he wanted to play top. So he went like, you know what? If I'm not the best laner, let's just ignore lane. Let's not lane. And if you know the boss FFS, then this dude is basically the boss FFS child. We're not laning, we're collecting all the enemy behind the enemy turret, and we're getting towards the mid and late stages of the game like a f***ing animal, like a beast. And with all that being said and done, let's go ahead and watch the game itself to show you what are we doing exactly. Alright, we're going at it, playing Rammus in the top side of the map. Now, this strategy is brainless, but you're going to love it. We're going at it with the, I will have the rune page on the screen for you, but we're going at it with the phase rush into the mana flow band, into the celerity, into the water walking. All of our rune pages are around movement speed. We want to make sure that we can get all the picks we can. For the secondary rune pages, we have the Minion Dematerializer into the Cosmic Insight. The Minion Dematerializer allows us to actually clear the cannon minions as fast as possible. And with that being said, we know that we're playing Rammus, and we know that we want to get here. We want to get behind the enemy turret. But we can't just do it brainlessly. And this just goes to show that this strategy requires a whole lot of game knowledge. We want to get behind the enemy turret, but we need to think. We have a Zed in our jungle, and the enemy has Karthus in his jungle. We are playing Rammus in the top side of the map, and the enemy laner is playing Darius. Now, let's think about it for a second. Question number 1, how and can we start proxy level 1? So if you said that we want to stay in lane and not proxy until level 3 because the enemy Karthus will start on the blue, on his blue buff, then you guys were right. Unfortunately, our dude tried to proxy level 1, and let's see how it ends up. So we're going for the proxy. We do have our ghost to try and run away. We go ahead and ward. We see the enemy Darius, but we're still going for the proxy. For some reason, the Karthus did not show up until now, but now he does show up. He wanted to start the blue buff, and we're taking the Rammus out just like that. We didn't think about the fact that the enemy Karthus wants to start on the blue buff. So before the game even starts, we're giving them the 300. But does it actually matter? No, we don't really care about it, right? We wasted flash, huge. We waste a whole lot of the jungle time. The enemy jungle starts his blue buff in 2 minutes. We have a brilliant ward. We're teleporting back to lane. Now, one thing that we do want to bear in mind is when we're playing Rammus in the top side, right? We do want to always look about the enemy jungle. We're going for the trade. We have the phase rush. We're going out just like that. And we do see the enemy jungle on his side of the map. We know that he just cleared the blue. He's currently clearing the Gromp. So in our game, we want to think about, we want to look at him, and we want to see when does he finish the Gromp. He finished the Gromp at around 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's pause it for a second. So we know that the next Gromp will spawn around 4 minutes and 55 because the Gromp timer is 2 minutes and 50 seconds between spawns, right? So the next time the Karthus will be on that side of the map will be around 4 minutes, 55 seconds. Now, we are in lane. We're after the first trade. We have another pretty big mistake. We're playing Rammus. We have our phase rush up in 3 seconds. We know that we're not that mobile the moment we press W. So if you would just wait 3 more seconds, we could have gone for a massive trade, for a trade that would have been a little bit better, and we could have like survived with a little bit more health, right? We're going for the cannon. We're taking the flash. We're dying for it. A little bit unfortunate. The start of the game is really f***ing tragic. How will we get back from it, dude? Let's rush it back to lane. Nothing crazy going on here. We know that the enemy Darius actually went for the reset. So we're pushing this wave as fast as we possibly can. We know that the enemy Karthus is not supposed to be around our side of the map yet. His next Gromp spawns in 4 minutes, 55 seconds. We can actually see the dude on the map, like up with our Z. We use the minion DMAT on the cannon minion, and we're trying to push this wave as fast as we possibly can, right? Just like we said, we want to get behind the turret. The wave crashes on his own. We're activating our Q. The Darius thinks that he can stop us, but we'll just W, auto, E, get the phase rush, get behind his turret. The Darius can't really answer that. We lost 3 minions, but this is perfectly fine with us. The enemy Darius won the 300, so he will look to play around you. He will ping the jungler. Calm the Rammus is behind turret. Calm the Rammus is behind turret. But you know what? We're just going past the tier 2. Now, here, we see a really big thing here, right? We got the entire wave. So let's pause it. What do we want to do here? After we got the entire wave, the next wave just starts spawning, right? And we know that the enemy Karthus Gromp might spawn soon. Alright, so if you said the next wave will take, up until the next wave will actually arrive towards us, this will take a whole lot of time. We're so close to our power spike, we're so close to actually having the little Thormail item, which will allow us to clear waves crazy fast. So what we want to do here is, instead of actually taking that wave, we should go towards the Gromp. And then we will achieve the cannon wave in time, instead of having to die in here. So we could just take the Gromp and went for a back. We saw the enemy Karthus on the bot side of the map, or we didn't saw him on our side of the map. We could have just ward here. We know when he's coming towards us. We take the Gromp. If necessary, we use the blast cone and we just reset. We don't die. The enemy Darius doesn't have any reason to come to us, because then he will just lose an entire wave. And we will reach the next wave just in time, right? We will reach the next wave just in time after f***ing Karthus, like, Karthus jungle camps. Which will make the Karthus even further behind, and this will ensure that the enemy Karthus will not be able to 1 versus 1 us, which will be really important down the lane. Now, we do see Karthus on our ward. Right, we do see Karthus over here on our ward. So now, if we're playing the Rammus, we need to think about it. We see Karthus at 6 minutes and 20 seconds, which means that let's take like 10 seconds for him to clear Gromp. We know that he will clear Gromp at around 6 minutes 30 seconds, so next Gromp will spawn at 8:55, right? 8:55, we want to remember that. We know that the enemy Karthus is around us, right? We know that the enemy Karthus is around us, but dude, we don't care. We have our Ghost, we have our Phase Rush, We're going past first here. We don't care about our ultimate. We're not really looking to get kills in our lane. We're using the minion demat on the cannon wave, and this is just why the minion dematerializer is that important. Now, we do see the Karthus in the top side of the map. We're just using the ghost. We're straight up ignoring him. We're going into the enemy base because, dude, we just don't care. And now here, if you guys would have played the Rammus, if you guys were the Rammus, what would you do in his position? Alright, so let's go back just a little bit. Number one, we look at the map. We see the top laner, we see the mid laner, we see the bot laner. We just saw the enemy Karthus 1 versus 1 in us. We know that he's level 5. So we stop the recall. And once we see Darius on the top once again, we're going for a double wave. We're taking the wave from the mid laner and from us, right? We got a whole lot of resources in here. A whole lot of resources. And then because we see the missing from the mid laner, we don't recall here. We got the Karthus ultimate. We want to go ahead and we want to execute because the mid laner is missing and there is the ignite going into us. Yeah, so the execute was the better plan here. We could have just ran into turret. And the moment we saw either the mid laner or the Darius, we would execute here. Unfortunately, we gave the enemy mid laner 300. The moment you see the missing, if you don't have a ward that spots them, you just execute, right? We don't care. We don't want to give resources. We want to waste their time for us. We're teleporting for the top side of the map, and this is where question number 3 goes in. Let's go 15 seconds back. We just died to the enemy mid laner. We spawn. What would you guys do in the Rammus shoes? Put the timer, think about it. So, we have a lot of time we have a whole lot of time. We don't really need to waste the teleport into the lane because the lane is slow pushing towards us. The golems are up. So what we can actually do, we do want to get towards, like, behind the enemy turret, but we don't want to kill ourselves while doing so. So what we can do is just queue towards the golems. We will clear the golems while the wave is just slow pushing towards us. We're clearing golems, right? By the time that we will clear golems, the lane will just get to our turret, and we'll just slowly clear it. Our Rammus decides to teleport towards the lane, try and for some reason duel the Darius, which is really not necessary. What we're looking to do here is make sure that we're not fighting the Darius. The Darius uses both his ghost and his flash trying to kill us, but we're playing Rammus, we're ulting out, we're phase rushing out. This just goes to show how tanky you are as this champion. We didn't even ghost it, we just phase rush. Darius wasted everything on us and we're still alive. Like, look at this. And even though we're 0-4, you will see how much impact we will have throughout the later stages of the game. So if you would have chose the little, like, better options here, you would have been level 9 when the Darius would have been, like, still level 8. You could have dueled anyone on the game. But because we didn't do that, we are a little bit... We're actually just in the game. We're not ahead, we're not behind. So, we are in the game. We do have the 8:55 timer. We know that the enemy Gromps are up, the enemy Wolves are up. We're going, we're proxying one wave. We do see the enemy Karthus on the map, in the mid side of the map. So what we're doing here, if you guys were the Rammus and you just clear this wave, what would you guys do in Rammus's position? So if you answered, we're going to tilt the enemy jungle. You guys were right. We saw the enemy jungle on the bottom side of the map. Let's make sure that we're taking more and more and more resources. We are doing the wolves. We are doing the Gromp. And we're just going back to lane. By the time that we will do both of these camps, the enemy Darius can't answer what we're doing here, because if he wants to answer it, he gotta come towards us, and in that time he will lose an entire wave, just like happening here. Darius loses an entire wave. We should have done Gromp by this time, instead of going for the proxy, right? And then we can either go back to lane, or, you know what? Who cares about the minions? Let's just continue the proxy going, right? The Darius can't do too much with this wave. He can take 160. But let's make sure that we're not dying. We're going for another proxy. After the proxy, we can fake a reset, or actually reset, depends what's going on. We see the mid, we see the bot. We had enough gold to actually buy the Thornmail and the boots, which are really big spike for us. So we are actually resetting it. Smart choice by the dude. I didn't saw that in time. We're getting to the lane. We don't see the Darius. We want to push this wave once again. And guess what? Go behind the turret. We're not interacting with him. We have our ghost up. We have the phase rush up. If he's trying to fight us, we have the ult up. We will just go ahead and we will just ult it. Look, we're taking the wave. We're ignoring the Darius. And we're going over the wall. Look, we're going over the wall. Who cares? And if we're already on the Gromp, we can just do the Gromp, right? We can tilt the enemy jungle further. We also see the enemy jungle in the bottom side of the map. Now, here, you guessed it right. We saw the Gromp up. We see the enemy jungle in the bottom side of the map. He can't even react to us. We can just go ahead and take his jungle while not completely fucking our mid laner. Now, we do decide to go ahead for the double proxy because our team is fighting. So we need to make sure that if they're losing the fight, the enemy team can't really go ahead and do anything in the mid lane, right? Because we took their wave. They have no minions. They can't attack the turrets. But we can also decide to, you know what? Let's get ourselves even further ahead. Let's take the Gromp, let's take the blue, let's reset, let's get back to lane. And let's have, how much CS is it? 125 by the 14-minute mark. We could have actually been at 140. We could have actually been at perfect CS. We could have actually been at 10 CS per minute at that point. Now, we get back to lane. We see that the golems are up. We can't really duel the Darius. So there isn't really any reason to go ahead and try to duel. We're doing the golems. We just allow the wave to crash towards us. And then we're getting back to lane. We do have the wards. We decide to not go ahead and do the golems. We decide to go ahead and, you know what? Let's proxy. I don't want to lane. I want to make sure that the Darius is properly tilted. We're just going for the wave. We have our ultimate up again. We have the ghost up. What can he do? Do you want to ult me? Well, you know what? Let's ult over the wall again. We just don't care. And here, what will the Darius do? Come and try to kill us? Alright. If you're doing that, then you will lose a lot of gold, right? So they can't even interact with us. If they're deciding to interact, well, you know what? Let's just ult over the wall. And then what? So we're going for the reset. And then from this point onwards, the laning phase is over. We're standing at a 143 CS, while the Darius is standing at a 120. We're extremely big. We see an Aurelia. Now, this just goes to show how good this strategy really is. We have our Thornmail. We have our armor boots. We have our W. We see an Aurelia with 140 CS, 3 kills, 1 assist. Her game was insane. But we're playing Rammus. We're dueling her. She's one level behind us. We're instantly seeing that. We're capitalizing on it. And we're just dueling her. And look, she just kills herself. She can't do anything. We're queuing around her. We pop, we E, we W, and just like that, the Irelia is just dead. If she wants to escape, I will ghost it. I will queue back to her. You can't escape us. We're playing Rammus over here. You're not. E, W, she wastes everything, and we're getting a 500 gold. Look at how crazy it is. Darius can't interact with you throughout the entire lane phase. If he decides to try and interact with you, then we're just ulting over a wall, right? And then we're getting to the mid and late game stages of the game, and we can basically duel any AD champion. Now, if you're playing versus AP champions, then this is a little bit different. Instead of going for the normal Thornmail first, then you're just going for the Sunfire. And then guess what? You can still 1 versus 1 them. Alright, so we're playing Rammus. We see Draven and Renata. We see Renata and Darius on the mid side of the map. We're teleporting towards the mid lane. The Kog'Maw and the Lulu are around. We're looking to get an engage. We see the Draven, we see the Renata. We're using our ultimate to make sure that we're not getting hit by the Draven E. We're taunting the Draven. He cleanses it, which means that, dude, we are not scared. We're playing Rammus. We're going at it once again. We want the kill. Turret damage? What is that? We haven't heard of it with Rammus. We're tanking the turret. We're getting the Draven ultimate. We got the 300, and now we're going out just like that. We need the kills. We need the snowball. We're playing an early and mid champion. We're making sure to get our team ahead in those stages of the game as much as we can. We're going ahead. We're collecting the ward. We already got the team like slightly ahead. They can do the rest from there. We're trying to search for more picks on the enemy Draven over here. If he was here, that was a dive. It looks like we're pretty low, right? But then we have the phase rush and we have our W. We're so tanky, we're ignoring turret shots. But Foxy, you're probably asking yourself, but Foxy, the turrets got buffed, right? No, we're playing Rammus. We still don't care about turrets in the mid stage of the game. We're collecting CS in the bottom side of the map. Afterwards, we're going for the recall. We got a little bit of a tempo. We have 700 gold on us. We have 173 CS at the 18-minute mark. We're crazy ahead. Now, because the enemy team does have their Draven and Irelia and the Darius, we are going for the second item Omen here. I do think they're going for a Mythic here. Could have been a crazy choice as well because they don't really have crit into their team. But then again, look at it. We're just looking for the Draven. We know that the Draven has no cleanse here. And what is the counterplay to it? Look, we're using the Q. We're using the R into 3 people. E, W. They're all trying to save the Draven, but there is nothing that can be done. We got so much, we got so many minions throughout the earlier stages of the game. There's nothing that they can do against us. We're playing around the Drake. We know that the enemy team will want to probably ward around the Drake. Then we find the engage around it and make sure to get the team ahead. The Irelia thinks that she can 1 versus 1 us. Then let's prove her wrong, right? Look, they're all flashing from you. They can't do anything from you at that stage of the game. You're so far ahead. You're a fucking beast at that point. You're getting more resources. You already won the fight for your team, right? And now we think, what is the next objective that we can maybe take, right? The Drake went down. There's nothing to search there. Then let's go ahead and continue the farm going. And the moment we see someone going for us, we're backing off. Team is not around. It's not the Draven. It's not the Irelia. We don't care about them. Just like that, we don't care about them. Dude, look at how brainless it is. You just farm throughout the earlier stages of the game. We're getting into the mid game, and there is nothing that can stop us. Literally nothing. And then over here again, we see people around the mid side of the map. We're making sure that it's not warded. If it's warded, we're taking the wards down. Don't letting the Raptors kill themselves while clearing the ward. Perfect. And then looking for another pick. We see a miserable Draven, right? We're making sure that it's not warded. We're making sure that it's not warded. We see the Lee Sin around us, the Lulu around us. We see the enemy Darius at the top of the map. We see whether we can maybe take him. If not, then let's take the CS. Let's make sure that our side lanes are pushed. And from here, let's just go towards the mid side of the map. We can dive them. Right? Let's fast forward it. We are going to the mid side of the map. We see a Karthus, low health enemy. We're in him. We don't care about our health pool. We see whether we can get a good engage. Unfortunately, the engage wasn't as good as we thought it will be. We're taking the plant. We got our health up. We see the Darius top. So we're looking for another engage. Am I right? So we are just looking for another engage. We see the Irelia fighting the Kog'Maw. We're Eing, we're Wing. It's an Irelia and it's a Draven. We're not going back on it. Look. We're not going back on it. I'm pretty sure that this is what the Rammus will be doing over here. The moment we will spot them... No, we don't want to go for the 1 versus 4, unfortunately. That did look like completely broken though. Look at it once again. Look at how much damage we inflicted over here. E, W, she's almost dead. And they can't do... Alright, so we're going for the bottom side of the map. We see 4 people in the mid lane. There is no reason to just continue dueling him. We're collecting the CS. And then we're going back to the mid side of the map. We're making sure that one wave is pressured, and then we're going back mid. We're making sure that one wave is pressured, and we're going back to the mid lane. Pressuring one wave, trying to get an engage mid. This is the only thing that we're doing throughout the game. We know that the Baron is up. We know that this is the next objective that we would want to play around. The Baron call will be like just forfeit by the Rammus here. Because the enemy team are alive. We're searching for another pick. We E, we W, she flashed away from us. That's a win in our book. We don't need to engage it, but we do get a massive engage from the Lee Sin over here. That's a kill on the Draven, and we can just continue going for it. We just need to make sure that no one is engaging the Kog'Maw. We're just protecting the dude. And just like that, you got the engage. You made sure that the Lee Sin will follow. The Lee Sin did the rest here, actually. Look how brainless it is. They have nothing to do against you. If you're on the objective before the enemy is, then you just instantly won it. We got a teleport. I didn't even realize that the teleport went down because the VOD is just completely broken. So we are recalling for the health, and we are instantly, let's look at it again. We're instantly teleporting into that minion. He's actually teleporting, but VOD is broken. We see that the Irelia is fighting the Cog, so we want to make sure that the carry is not dying. We're teleporting towards the carry. We're eating the Darius to save him, Wing him. The Kog'Maw gets the rest of the enemy team in the meanwhile. Now you're probably saying, but Foxy, in my game the carry will not be as strong, right? But no, that's the thing. Your carry will be as strong if you will make sure that the enemy can't engage on him, right? And you're so far ahead, so if the enemy engage on you, then they can't do anything. It's not that the enemy is that strong, it's that you're that far ahead, and if they decide to try and get your carry, then they just can't. Because you eat them, and you will kill them instead of the carry. You're the actual carry here. We don't really care about the Kog'Maw, but we do want to get his damage on the back. Now here, it's a 2 versus 1, but it's an AD carry, right? We're Wing, and he will just kill himself. Look, the Draven will just kill himself. Yeah. We're taunting the Renata to make sure that she can't use her undying ability on the Draven, and the Draven just for some reason kills himself over here. Alright, from here, we're going for the bot side of the map. We know that our team is currently doing the Drake. They're just taking the Drake for free. We're pressuring the side waves, and we do see that our team are in a dangerous position of an engage. We're queuing for them. We're ulting the Irelia. So again, we see that the team are in a danger position. We're queuing for them. We're going for them as fast as we can. We see a carry champion in the enemy team, who is also AD. We ult it. We E it. And she's just killing herself. She can't engage on the team. She's just killing herself. By the time that she managed to try and get towards the team, she was so low, so she has to go out of the fight. Right? And the team is just winning the fight in the meanwhile. EW 350, just like that. Now, if you will collect more camps throughout the earlier stages of the game, then you will be stronger than the Rammus is in that game. Now, let's just make sure that we do explore the build a little bit. If we're playing versus mostly AD, then we will go for the Thornmail into the Even Shroud. And if we are playing versus AP, then you will see the dude going for the Aftershock into the Sunfire Ages, and then still going for that proxy, trying to get as much picks and as much camps and as much annoyance as possible on the enemy team. But if you're playing versus those AP comps, make sure that you are not going for the first item. Thornmail, make sure that you are going for the Aftershock into the Sunfire Ages, and then the moment you finish your Sunfire, you can still 1 versus 1 everyone. So we're just collecting some more CS. Still pretty ahead in CS. Number 1 in the game, 222 CS by the 26-minute mark. It can be improved, but there is no reason because we already won the game. We got so much pressure off the map. We made sure that the Karthus will try to fight us, and we got three Drakes in the meanwhile. We got great team. We're playing around the team. And then again, the barn is up. We're looking for engages. We're so quick. If there is no engage, then we'll just take the wards down. We will assert vision. Taking all the vision out. And trying to go for the enemy Renata over here. Darius is dead. We're tanking the turret for the team. And we're just allowing them to get as big. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at the turret damage. Which is we're straight out ignoring it after tanking the Renata. We're in the turret. And we're just staying in it without taking any damage. You see the Draven over here. We're ulting the dude. He's forced to flash. We see the Karthus, the Draven. We're eating them. We allow the team to get good engages on them. While not allowing the enemy team to get damage into our team. Just like that, we got a pentakill for the Zed. We got all the we made sure that we peeked the Renata. We made sure that the Draven will flash. We made sure that the Karthus will not be able to damage the team. We took an inhibitor. We took base turret. That will not be game. All the enemy team are actually spawning in here. So we'll just queue. Will we back it? We're not even backing it. The Kog'Maw is too big at that point. Unfortunately, they're not actually eating into the fountain. We're going back because we understand that this fight is over when the Kog'Maw died. There are so many mistakes in Diamond Elo, dude. There are so many mistakes in that Elo. That's so dumb. We're going into the base. We know that the Drake is spawning really soon. We're clearing camps, getting even more CS, going towards the Drake, making sure that we see whether it's warded or not warded while looking for picks. We do see the Irelia on the map, on the bottom side of the map, so we're looking to get that 1 versus 1. We see her there. It's an E, it's a W. The Irelia is 1 level behind, and guess what? She can do shit. Dude, after looking at that one, I want to play this myself. I really want to play this myself. Oh my god. That is actually so funny. We see a low health Karthus in the jungle. The dude is down. We got the Irelia ourselves, we got the Karthus ourselves. We made sure to take the Drake, and just like that, dude, the game is basically over. 4 out of 5 of our opponents are down. We just finished the game, just like that. There's no reason to delay it. The game is almost flawless. The mid to late game are just perfect. The mid to late game of this dude is just perfect, but the early game can be improved, which we'll get the dude into like Masters, Grandmasters, I believe. But yeah, with all that being said and done, I hope to catch you all next week for another VOD review. And with all that being said and done, catch you all next time. Peace, and I'm out. Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did and you want to support us, like the video and leave a comment right below. If you want to see some more content just like that one, feel free to subscribe and join the Fox lair. And with all of that being said and done, hope to catch you all next time. Peace out.